Ball Weep, Grana Weep, Nitty Bong. I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to this weekly live stream news, Transformers Earth Wars news on twitch.tv/Engineer Hoist to catch it live like these guys, or watching the replay on YouTube. Sorry, I got thrown off a little bit. I forgot to enable the mic right at the beginning. Yeah, so we got a lot of big news. The update dropped this week, and so we'll talk a little bit about that. I do plan to do a dedicated tips video on the new game mode, but of course we talk about we'll talk about the upcoming event, and stick around after the news because there's an epic crystal cracking due to influx of 4-star shards from the new update. First off, let's go ahead and give a shout out to everybody who did come here live on Twitch. Overwatch 7275, Optimus Prime, I almost called out Streamlabs. I guess I just did, didn't I? Gen 1 Red Alert, a good friend over there. Optimus, Rodimus, aka Denali Kid, I just saw earlier in the chat. Jared Barbara, Big D. I saw Big Bronze Rim come by. First Monk, there's a few of you guys in here. Magnus Prime UK, WW Wolfman, a couple of you guys. All right, good to see you guys. Let's get to the news. This weekend's event is called Tunnel Vision. Gee, I wonder where that came from. Both of the new bots are drills, and drills are known for digging tunnels, and so there you go. Take part in this weekend's event to win the last Quintesson avatar. Up to 60,000 Spark, up to 5,000 Premium Shards, 2,000 3-star shards, 700 4-star shards, and up to 30,000 Z-energon from the final tiers. So, scruffy looking nerf herder. You're a scruffy looking nerf herder. I saw that, man. This weekend's event is an individual event. It starts at the usual Friday start time, ends at the usual Monday stop time. One big leaderboard, there's no prestiges, or prize board rather, and triple XP during the event. To participate, just like any event, you have to be at least a headquarters level 4, hit the event button, select your zone, win the battle, win the points, collect your prizes. The event battle zones are the standard battle zones, and there's a long list of prizes summarized here. By 1,750 points, you'll have collected all of the premium shards. By 4,500, you'll have gotten all 3-star shards. The avatar is at 5,000 points, which is a little different than what the prime avatars were, because they've been giving those out at about 100 points. But now you actually have to get to 5,000 points to get the Quintesson avatar. By 8,500 points, you'll have gotten all of the 4-star shards. Hit 10,000, that's basically the end of the real event, the real prize board. That gets you all 60,000 Spark, and the final tiers are anything above 10,000. The first tier after that is 15,000, then it goes up to 50,000 to collect all 30,000 of the Z-energon. And yes, indeed, that is a lot of points, but the good news is you can get the Z-energon from many different areas. It's not limited to just this event. In fact, this is probably a one-time kind of a thing, just because they only just introduced this. I know there's some players out there that could easily hit this 50,000 points, and it's for those players. If you can't hit it, don't feel bad. You'll be able to win it in Wars or in the new Elimination Game Mode, which we'll talk about in a little bit. We did finally get the bios for Nosecone and Drillhorn. Not that we had to wait a long time. We only found out about them last week, so not finally is a little bit of a exaggeration. But Nosecone, his bio reads as such: methodical to the point of painstaking. Nosecone can seem slow or even lazy to outsiders, but his fellow Technobots know he's just a perfectionist, carefully evaluating every risk before acting while always getting the job done. Unfazed by the chaos of the battlefield, Nosecone is a calming presence, but that doesn't stop him from shredding fortifications with his Durabilium steel drill, or just tunneling under them. I wonder how he's going to come in handy. If you've been following along the story mode, totally saw that coming. They're like, oh, how do we get there? There's nothing for miles. They can sense blades in the air, so how do we get there? How about we call in the drill guy and go in from underneath? I'm pretty sure everybody, all you guys out there figured that out too. Drillhorn, his Decepticon counterpart, is a veteran strategist. Drillhorn can be stubborn and opinionated, convinced he knows better than anyone else. Even commanding officers get the rough edge of his audio modulators if he doesn't agree with their strategy. Unfortunately, this bullheaded approach to warfare sometimes gets him in deep trouble and right in the firing line. But being very tough, he manages to escape with few, if any, injuries. Able to bulldoze and tunnel in tank mode, he is a one-bot siege breaker, laying waste to even the toughest fortifications. So there you go. Optimus Prime saying these guys are probably warrior class. That's probably a good bet. Kind of depends on their ability. If it's more of a support ability, you might see them show up as melee fighting style special class. But, yeah. So, let's see. Big Bronzer is saying, I want his ability to have them drill underground, pop up and attack a target, then return where he was. That would be cool. I was totally with you, thinking about the tunnel underground aspect of it. I mean, it makes sense being drills. And especially if it does come to pass like I think it's going to in the story. So... Okay, so they did a lot of rebalancing going on, and there's probably still a little bit of it going. If you notice, the zones are a little out of whack. I've seen people saying some of the zones are a little bit stronger than they're used to, or it's not consistent. Sometimes it goes in, it's good. Sometimes it's too hard. So they are working on getting them because they did add a couple of new zones, plus with the new HQ-17 there's things like that, so there is definitely they've made some changes and they're still tweaking it as we go along, so don't think it's ruined forever if you're having a tough time. Red Alert is saying he's constantly under attack now, and I've noticed I've been getting attacked a little bit more frequently myself. So let's talk about that. With the release of Headquarters Level 17, we wanted to take the opportunity to bring some game balance improvements, and here are a few notable changes coming with Headquarters 17. Now, not all of these are related necessarily to 17, but they are inspired by that increase. The Headquarters Special Ability Damage Resistance has been increased to 75% for Headquarters 17, whereas it was only 50% for all previous levels, and remains that. But it is increased for Headquarters 17. The range of the laser turret equipped with anti-air has been reduced by 50%. Now that's actually a good thing, because those anti-air power cores just shred my air class bots anytime I'm flying past them. So I'm kind of glad to see that range has been reduced a little bit. The shield generator has a 40% ability damage resistance for all classes, but only 20% ability damage resistance from air class bots. So what that's saying, I think, is air class bots' abilities do a little bit more damage to shield generators than if you were to send a bot straight up and walk into it. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. A few more. Gunners, including Skyburst and Onslaught, who are technically special class, they have received a 60% health boost. I'm not sure if Skyburst and Onslaught were originally going to get that, but I think a lot of people said, hey, you gotta give them, everybody uses them, and they're totally gunners, you gotta give them that health boost too. So there you go. So definitely gunners are getting a health boost, and it was a much needed boost. Also, air class bots, they also needed a boost as well, so they're going to get a 42% health boost. That's an interestingly unique number. I wonder how they came about that. Just curious. I mean, I've got no issue with it. It's just interesting to see. I mean, we're seeing 50, 60, but then 42. So it's half of 84. Like Transformers came out in 1984. Maybe no. That's just a coincidence, I'm sure. Warrior damage to walls has been increased by 50%. Using their regular combat abilities. So like warriors who walk up to a wall and just start punching it, they'll do 150% of the damage that they used to do. So if they used to do, say, 100 DPS to a wall, now they'll do 150 DPS to a wall. Rush abilities attached to warriors, such as like Grimlock, or Optimus Prime, and I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. Maybe Red Alert, I think, also does that. They will also do more damage to walls and buildings that they drive past. They didn't specify how much more, but they just said more. And that's about it for the news. Just one last reminder for anybody watching the replay on YouTube, head on over to twitch.tv/EngineerHoist so you can join us live as we record these news streams on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And when you're there, you can also click to be notified when I go live, because I do start about 10 minutes ahead of time, give everybody a chance to show up. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EngineerHoist. I'm not super active on there, but I'm trying to be. I share pictures of my toys and various other things, and things like that, including things such as TFcon Orlando. It's unbelievable that it's like I was just at TFcon up in DC, but the one in Orlando is coming. It's not this coming weekend, but it's the next weekend, starting with the customizing class on Friday, which Red Alert's actually going to be there. We're going to have a good old time there, painting up a custom figure, and we'll talk a little bit more about TFcon in another day, because they're starting to roll out a little bit more of the information about the exclusives. They've revealed one, and they've also revealed the custom class figure, but I just want to see if there's a few more that come out to give us a little bit more to talk about. But I just did want to go ahead and get that out there, that TFcon Orlando is coming up next weekend. I'll be there. Red Alert will be there. If you're going to be there, let us know in the chat or in the comments. Plus, there will be another video and probably a stream coming. I'll let you guys know if you follow me on Twitter. I think I'll follow that there, or if you just follow me on one of these channels, get notifications, and you'll find that out. It'll definitely be within the next week and a half or so, because we'll do the lead-up video for TFcon before TFcon. I mean, that's kind of how that works, right? Okay, and then that brings us back around the horn, and there we go. So that's it for the news. So, now, before we move on, I did start off the stream with the question of the day. Didn't see a whole lot of comments in there. I did see a few of you guys participating in there, but I'll put this out for everybody on YouTube too. I'm going to try to do this question of the day, get a little bit more discussion going. So if you're still here on you can go ahead and feel free to do it in the chat, and if you're still watching on YouTube, throw it down in the comments. What is your favorite Transformers fiction, comics, or cartoon? I would say, for me, my favorite comic is More Than Meets the Eye. I just really enjoyed that series with the misadventures of Rodimus and Swerve and Ultra Magnus, Drift, even when Megatron showed up. I know a lot of people hate the Autobot Megatron. I thought it was a cool twist, and seeing that whole interaction there. And from a TV show standpoint, I gotta go with Transformers Prime. I mean, G1 is the OG. You gotta love G1, but Transformers Prime was just absolutely outstanding. And honorable mention to the Rescue Bots, because that is a fantastic show. Even though it's made more for the younger crowd, I really enjoyed the Rescue Bots. So, Arrow DJ Hearts saying Beast Wars, Big Bronze Rim, More Than Meets the Eye, also there. Let's see. Okay, Sharksy's got another one, More Than Meets the Eye, Last Stand of the Wreckers. Yeah, Last Stand of the Wreckers is another great one. It's more of a limited series than a full run, but yeah, Last Stand of the Wreckers was absolutely outstanding. DJD and the Scavengers. Oh, yes, love the DJD. That's why I've got the whole combiner sitting over there on the other shelf. Tarn and Tesserus and Helix and Kaon and Voss and let's see, the pet. I've even got MMC put out Nickel and the pet, and oh, great. So Beast Wars definitely is a good one too. All right, so how about we get to some crystal cracking. I don't know why that just flipped, but we'll talk. Before we get to that, they did an update, and here I just want to. So the max player level used to be 80, and they increased it to 90. And that's the number that's up in the corner. It's right about here on the screen. I'll take the camera off in a second so you can see where I'm at, since it's hidden right now. But what they did was, even for anybody who hit 80, you earn the player XP by leveling your buildings, by leveling your bots, and we continued to earn XP as it went along, even after you hit 80. So what they did is they increased it to 90 and added some very generous rewards for levels 81 through 90, where you earn a bunch of cyber coins and also a bunch of 4-star shards. And immediately after that update, I jumped straight to level 87 out of 90. Big Bronze Rim says he ended up at 84. So because of that, that gave me... Let's go in here. I already had about 2,300 4-star shards, but I ended up with 18,700. So that's quite a few 4-star shards. Big D said he got to 86, so about right there with me. Did you guys get anything good? That's what we're about to see out of here. I'm going to go ahead and grab all these. I would have grabbed them ahead of time, but I wanted to show... oh, I didn't mean to hit that particular button. Just Dupe City. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be. Let's see. I'm actually going to try to stave off Dupe City by doing something which I don't recommend for anybody unless you already have a ton of 4 stars. And even if you do, probably not a good idea. I'm going to grab one Decepticon 4-star crystal to see if maybe we can get away from being a complete Dupe City. And the rest of them are all Autobots. And I'll go ahead and grab these premium crystals. These were from last weekend's event. By the way, that is the very first Decepticon 4-star crystal that I ever have claimed using shards. Again, I do not recommend that to anybody unless you already have a huge collection of the 4-star crystals in your main faction. And even then, probably should don't do what I do and just stick with your main faction, because duplicates get you 5-star shards, which gets you 5-star bots. So yeah, Sharksy's saying sounds dumb. Maybe try for cons. And he's like, "Oh, yep. You must have been reading my mind there, buddy." Big Bronze Rim got a G Metal Cybertronian charge. Oh, that's cool. That's for the beam lasers. That's a really good one. Optimus Rodimus is jumping in with the question of the day. He loves the Transformers G.I. Joe collaboration. I'm not a big fan of that. Sometimes it's okay. But for cartoon, always be G1. G1er for life. Okay, cool, man. I didn't mean to dismiss you. I hope you didn't take it that way. So this is just a little silver power core chip. I didn't realize I had that in here, and I got some free crystals. We'll get them out of the way. Didn't realize I had those in there. 3,000 spark out of a free crystal is pretty nice, though. Force field, bleh. Got a ton of those, hardly never use them. Smart bomb. I almost never use them either. Let's see. Alright, let's do these premium crystals. Sharksy is a con, so he's yet to get a 4 or 3-star opposite faction crystal. But he still has about 3 4-star Autobots and 8 3-stars from premiums. Because back during VIP, I'm guessing you're probably VIP, they used to give Autobot and Decepticon premium crystals. They didn't give you shards where you could choose at first. Then people, requested that we get shards. That way you could choose which one that you get, and they changed that for us. And I think it was the right thing to do. I still sometimes, as you've seen, go for the Decepticon side because I do like buffing up my Decepticon faction, and it's actually going to work out well for collecting Z-energon, because you can, at least it appears, I haven't tried it, but it appears that you can indeed use your opposite faction for the elimination mode. Okay, so that does it for the premium crystals. I think we got one 3-star through there. Oh, not VIP? You're just using your shards, okay. Okay, how about we go through these Autobot crystals? So we've got 6 Autobot 4-stars and a single Decepticon 4-star. We'll go ahead and go down to... We'll do 5 of the Autobot 4-stars, Then we'll hop over, do the Decepticon one, come back for the Autobot. Final Autobot one. All right. Bruticus, we're just about to open these 4-star crystals. Where are you going, bro? I guess you'll have to watch the replay. Here we go. 4-star Hound. Explosive shells. Next one gives us a duplicate Snarl. Very nice. Gets us some Combiner Spark, like that. And his fellow Dinobot, Sludge, gets more... Ooh, G-Metal, but it's a self-repair. Not a huge fan of this self-repair, but it's G-Metal. I'll give it some thought. And that's Dust Up. That's more Combiner Spark. Nice gold Rejuvenate core there. Another Autobot 4-star. Hot Spot. Gets us Adaptive Shielding. I think I've got an Adaptive Shielding. In fact, I think I got a G-Metal Adaptive Shielding not too long ago. Okay, so let's hop over to the Decepticon Premium Crystal. This one should be a new one, but I do have a few... I do have 6 4-star Decepticons now, so this very well could be a duplicate. We'll find out. It's a new 4-star Decepticon coming at ya. This is a Barricade. Very cool. I almost didn't recognize him there. That's a nice pull. I'm very happy with that 4-star Barricade. The Autobot counterpart is Drift for anybody who's not aware there. So, and finally, the last Autobot 4-star is a duplicate Alpha Bravo. More Combiner Spark, tons of Combiner Spark, and a gold Vitality. So that's 6 times 180 5-star shards, and so there you go. Oh, apparently I have another free crystal. I'll spare you that. And see, as you can see, I'm still quite a ways away from a 5-star crystal. If I was way closer to a 5-star crystal, if I was like 1 duplicate away from a 5-star crystal, I totally would have not gotten that Decepticon one. But since even now, going through all that, I'm still only about halfway to the next one. I figured it was fine to be that. Soldier, what's going on, my friend? Long time no see. Arrow DJ Hart saying the Decepticon Crystal would have been a new Autobot. Well, no, actually, if it turned out to be the Autobot counterpart of Drift, I have the 4-star Drift, so no. That ended up being a new Decepticon only because I don't have that many of them. Because, I mean, we can go see, actually changed it by class. Oh, what are we doing? Star rating, that's how I usually do it. And I did it too fast and made the game crash. So... let's go back over here. Okay, pro tip, don't swap that too fast, otherwise you'll crash the game. The Sharksy's saying Barricade is awesome sauce. Yes, I do like the Drift. They're a little frustrating to use when they're early on because they rush out, but once you start getting a little bit of power on them, they work out pretty well. Optimus Rodimus, aka Denali Kid, what's your good news, my friend? Oh, it looks like we lost the sound, the music. Maybe it's coming back. Well, we've got the sound effects. I might have to restart to get the music. It's too quiet. It's too quiet in here. It's a rare condition to see any good news on the newspaper page. Yeah. Totally forgot what I was going to do. Oh yeah, just show off. I'm showing off here. See, got a lot of Autobots, 4-stars. That's why I get the duplicates. But my Decepticon 4-star collection is quite small. So that's why Barricade came through as opposed to getting a duplicate. If I used that 4-star crystal on another Autobot, that almost certainly would have been a duplicate Autobot. All right, I'm going to go ahead and restart the game. And because when the game closes and comes back up, sometimes it doesn't show the I was reading Sharks' comment, show off. It sometimes doesn't restart the music. Let's go ahead and keep the politics out of it there, Optimus Prime. Everybody's got differing opinions, so let's just go ahead and keep the politics out of it. Who's in the lab? Warpath, I think. Yeah, so we got Warpath in there because my 4-star Hound just hit 50. And since I had Warpath sitting down here at 40, I figured I'd throw him in for 3 days so I can put him on the squad in place of Hound. I'm still running Hound right now. Alright, so before we get out of here, and I'm totally not showing this to you guys. Yeah, so anyway, here, I'll just show you. Warpath. See? Warpath. Blam, pow, zoom. Yep. I think that's so great. Like the Generations Warpath, the one that everybody really likes, is the deluxe class, which I agree. I love that one too. If you look, he's got a bunch of things stenciled on him, and it's like Zowie and Blam and stuff like that. It's actually really cool. Okay, Optimus Prime, Optimus Rodimus is good news is 4-star Jazz, 4-star Pyromagna, and 4-star Springer, Sideswipe, Silverbolt, and Rustus. You got all of them? Oh, you're on the hunt for those. Okay, we got 4-star Jazz and Pyromagna. Still very cool. Jazz is great. Pyromagna is great as well. Okay, so we wanted to talk about this new Elimination Mode. You get that going down here in the battle. And thank you, Optimus. So basically, this is live anytime that the raids are live. It starts, what is it, like Tuesday at 10 a.m. Universal and ends at Thursday 10 a.m. Universal. Basically the same time that the raids are going. And you get it in the battle, and it's this Elimination Mode here. And basically, when you're actually going battling, it's the same. Everybody who's updated should have gotten the Elimination Mode squad, although I did hear this unlocks at Headquarters level 12. So if you're less than Headquarters level 12, you may not have this mode yet. So this is a special squad this is the only squad that can be used in this Elimination Mode. And it's unfortunate right now because you have to select it every time. It would be, a lot of people have been saying it'd be nice to be able to use current teams that you have, and I agree. So I'll show you how basically how this works. This is how you earn the Z-energon and also a ton of XP. I'm gonna go down here and use my 2 stars. I've run this a couple times because I'm not quite ready to run it with my bigger bots. So I'm just gonna get a nice little mix here. Fine, let's get Sea Spray in there, and let's see who else. I want another gunner, Alpha Bravo, and let's do Smokescreen. I think I used all my medics by now because you can only use each bot one time. Let's throw Power Glide in there. So when you go, you got a squad. You can choose the zones. I don't know what this zone 10 and 7 is off to the one side. Basically, you've got zone 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. If you're Headquarters level 17 and upgrade your scanner, then you unlock the zone 15. And it's all basically the same recommended powers and stuff like that. And you can see, it shows you what the Z-energon is. Oh, I guess that's 6 and 7 and 8. So it's a little weird. So you can battle as low as zone 6, and you can see it's modest rewards all the way up through zone 12. Zone 12 you get 2,000, but if you get attack in zone 13, it bumps up to 10,000. The reason they said that because there's a lot of people with bots that can actually solo zone 11, solo zone 12. So they didn't want to make those rewards too high because you'd get them way too fast. So that's why the rewards really jump at 13, 14, and 15. But still, if you can't hit those zones, you still earn something, and you still earn. I mean, look at these experience. Even in zone 8, that's plus 700. That's almost super XP level of XP there. So I'll just go ahead and go in there and do that. Big Bronze Rim saying all you get are gold volatile mixtures. Man, I've only gotten like one. That's crazy. So, okay, I'm going to take that off. I always like to take in these yellow Kremziks. They give us a yellow Kremziks with the VIP, and I rarely use the battle boost at all, so I've got quite a stash of little Kremziks. So, I'm going to run these guys in here. They should be able to handle this relatively easily. Now, one tip Sunstreaker Waza did say in his video, if you didn't see that, they put a link to his video in the newsletter, and it's a good video. He said if you come into if you come into a zone and you find that there's no way that you can win it, basically the prevailing wisdom is to go ahead and retreat, because if whether you win or lose the battle, your bots are done. You can't for the week. You can't use them anymore for that week. But if you lose, you get no Z-energon. It's all or nothing. You have to win to get it. So if you go into an unwinnable battle, you're just gonna lose the use of your bots and have nothing to show for it. Maybe you get to keep the XP, but you certainly don't get the Z-energon, and those bots are done. So this one's actually not going quite as well as I would have hoped, but I think we got it. Sea sprays, yep, there we go. So we didn't get everybody. We got to win. Big Bronze Rim saying, yeah, but I don't want to kill my win streak. Well, you know, so you gotta wait. You gotta weigh your priorities. But there you go. Won that battle, so I won 1,000 Z-energon to go along with the 2,000 I had already. A lot of XP for these little 2-star bots. And see, that's one of the good things about leveling up all your bots, because you can use all of your bots in these elimination mode, so you could win more if you actually played. I haven't played it much, mostly because I've been saving it for the stream and things like that. So it does use fuel cells. So even if you choose to retreat, you'll lose your fuel cells, but those regenerate, and you should still be you should still be able to get through the elimination mode. Okay, so one thing I did want to see is, can you use your opposite faction? Now see, it's cleared out. Even though I had those bots in there, it's cleared out. So let's actually also go ahead and go look at that. If you scroll all the way down, it'll show you the bots that you've used. And so clearly you can use 1-star bots too if you want to. I don't know why you would. I don't know if they'd even manage to handle Zone 6. So there you go. So there's the list of used Autobots. So these are all the bots that I've used already on there. So there you can see Alita 1 there, Skylinks. Those are bots that we just used in that battle. Cannot use them anymore. And see, if you try to tap on it, it'll say it's already deployed. It'll be back in action next week. So let's swap over to the Decepticons, and let's throw, oh, I don't know, let's throw Megatron. And Lugnut. Actually, we'll throw Death Source. Let's throw Barricade in there. And Nemesis Prime. Long Haul. I don't know if I'm going to bring all of these guys in here, because I'm actually going to go into Zone 8 again, because I know Death Source can solo this Zone 8. So what I'm going to plan to do, so that's 7,500 XP if I deploy everybody. So if you add that up times 8, okay, I'm just looking at my strategy. You take that up by 8 and then divide by however many bots you drop. You'll do that. You can use the opposite faction. Yes, clearly you can. I'm trying that right now. I did not know that, but I saw it. I figured let's give it a shot. So I'm going to drop I'm just looking at my strategy for Deathsaurus. I think if I drop on the left-hand side and swipe up, if I hit that one beam laser to the right, I think I'd be able to hit that mortar. And I'll go ahead and drop these other two guys. Can't quite reach it. There we go. Aha! I did hit that mortar. I'll pop this outpost, but that should be no problem for my Deathsaurus here. Epic battle with Deathsaurus and Optimus Prime over here. Okay, we lost Barricade, but that's no surprise. He's fresh out of the space bridge. Now, Deathsaurus should be able to absorb this mortar fire without problem. And Nemesis Prime can't quite reach him. Like I said, I don't think that's going to be an issue here. So this is how I've been power leveling my Decepticons, and this is just one extra way to get a huge amount of XP power leveling my Decepticons. One time only per week, though. So there you go. Got 1,000 Z-energon out of there, and he was max level. I waste so much XP, and here's Barricade. Going through the levels. Look at this. He did his little jump and he's like, whoa, wait, it's still going? It's still going? One elimination mode battle took in there, and look at a full level from 28 to 29 for Nemesis Prime 2. And that's sharing the XP. So I probably could have taken Nemesis Prime almost all the way to 30 there if I didn't drop Barricade. But that's quite alright. So there you go. If you didn't know, if you've got your opposite faction leveled up, you can use them in the elimination mode to go get yourself even more of the Z-energon. So I don't think there was anything else I wanted to cover on that. I'd still do, even though we talked about it now, I still do plan to do a little bit of a video specifically about that mode, and also a little bit about what you can use it for. As of now, it's only used for Headquarters 17 level upgrades. They are thinking and working on ideas for anybody who's not quite at the Headquarters 17. Like I said, that elimination mode unlocks it at Headquarters level 12, so you can begin earning that Z-energon, and you can just store it for the time for now up until there's a use for it, whether you get to Headquarters level 17 or they provide other ways of using it. But for now, there's no way to use it until you've gotten Headquarters. Leveling to Headquarters 17 requires just Energon and Alloy, a ton of it. But once you get there, some of the upgrades do require that Z-energon to actually upgrade the buildings. Upgrading the bots beyond level 60, if you've gotten to that point, requires some Z-energon. So that's what that's for. And that's why there's a possibility to win a chunk of it during this weekend's event. So that's kind of like a little bit of an overview. I'll try to put together a nice, a little bit more of a well thought out video talking about that, though. But for now, there's a little bit of an overview for anybody if you haven't seen it. Like I said, Sunstreaker Waza did also put out a little bit of a video with some overview and some tips. There, it's in the I think Alpha Prime may have done that as well. They're in the newsletter, and I'll put some links in the description of the video on YouTube there. So that's going to do it for the Transformers Earth Wars news for those of you on YouTube. If you want guys on Twitch, stick around if you're watching the replay on YouTube and you want to be part of the after party or whatever we end up wanting to call it that we do after we record on Twitch. Head on over to twitch.tv/engineerhoist. There is a link in the description. I also haven't been talking about my Discord much, but there's a link down there where you can go join and chat throughout the week. Also think about following me on Twitter and Instagram at Engineer Hoist, and that's going to do it. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends, and we'll see you next time.